Well, good evening and welcome back, Delmarva. The heat can be, well, overwhelming as we've seen these past few days. And I know for many of us, our air conditioners are set to full blast. But WMDT's Layla Wea spoke with an expert who says cranking it all the way up might not be the best idea.
Temperatures on Delmarva are in the 90s, and most people's air conditioners are working overtime. But with thousands of homes across the peninsula relying heavily on AC during this time, the risk of power outages may come into play.
We work year-round to help ensure reliable energy service for customers through proactive essential upgrades in our infrastructure that can help with increasing demands.
Zach Chizar with Delmarva Power says before this week's heat wave, the company has been working around the clock to try their best to prevent the worst from happening.
You know, this type of work does include helping to fortify the local energy grid, adding in new equipment and smart technology to help prevent outages and help reinforce the system against some of the severe weather that we typically see over the summer months.
And whether it's for the greater good or your wallet, Chizar says being mindful of what temperature you set your AC to can make all the difference.
We know that everyone, during these warmer months and warmer times are going to be using more energy, with air conditioning, their home a little bit more often. And every 1 or 2 degrees that you can help raise your thermostat, when you're at home or when you're at work throughout the day, can help save you money on your electric bill.
Layla Wea reporting WMDT, because local matters.
Yeah, you can explore their energy assistance options by visiting homeenergysavings.delmarva.com. Meanwhile, a Rehoboth man is behind bars following a traffic stop. Around 2 a.m. this morning, Dewey Beach police pulling a car over in the area of Coastal Highway and Scarborough Avenue. Police say during that stop, they searched the car and found a knife in the glove compartment and a significant amount of marijuana, promethazine, and drug paraphernalia. The driver, 21-year-old Kyle Kilgo, was taken into custody and committed to the Sussex Correctional Institution. Well, a Milton woman has been arrested following a police chase last night. Delaware State Police receiving reports about a stolen vehicle from New Jersey that was being electronically tracked near Milton. Now, troopers chased that vehicle before it finally stopped at West Rander Drive, and they say the driver, 30-year-old Jennifer Hurl, tried to walk away but was quickly arrested. She's now being held on a cash bond. And at this time, we're going to throw things over to meteorologist Eric Alf, who's standing by. Eric, it is going to be a hot one out there tomorrow.
That is right, Rob. Day 2 of extreme heat. We're going to have temperatures rising in the mid-90s once again for your Saturday. And with the oppressive humidity values, it's going to feel like over 100 degrees. The main difference is that we do have a chance for some scattered thunderstorms tomorrow evening, lingering throughout the overnight. And some of those could be heavy, but they will be isolated and scattered in nature. And there's a potential for a lingering downpour or shower for your day on Sunday. It will be slightly cooler, but the humidity is still going to be remaining a bit on the high side. It's muggy out there tonight. We're looking live at Rehoboth Beach on the Morse Roofing and Siding Skycam. It's not stopping people from being out and about, enjoying the evening out there. It's definitely warm. We're in the upper 70s along the coastline, and we got lower to even mid-80s for our interior locations at this time of the night. That's pretty impressive, 85 in Easton, and it is very humid out there. We got dew points well into the 70s. All these dark greens indicate that the humidity levels are oppressive, to say the least. Now, not much on radar. We do have some lingering clouds with this little weak complex that has weakened, to say the least. So not really much in the way of shower activity, but I can't rule out an isolated shower, maybe a brief downpour sometime during the overnight. But really the focus for any organized storm development will be with this cool front that passes our region by tomorrow. But it kind of stalls across the region, so we're not expecting much in the way of a drop in humidity. Certainly not going to be any drops in humidity for tomorrow. Feels like temperatures well above 100 degrees. 105 feels like temperature for Salisbury. Certainly a steamy day on the way, but a much more comfortable levels of temperatures along the coastline. Certainly what feels like temperatures at around that 80-degree mark. So here's the threat for a couple of downpours and thunderstorms for tomorrow afternoon and through the evening. They will be isolated and scattered in nature, but where they do develop, they can produce a hefty downpour out there, and that can lead to some localized ponding on the roadway, so something to keep in mind. And throughout the overnight, there will still be a threat for an isolated thunderstorm or downpour. And the same thing with Sunday because the front kind of stalls within the area. So once again, Sunday, there will be an isolated threat for a downpour or a thunderstorm, but not everyone is going to see rain for your day on Sunday. It is going to be mostly dry, but then the same thing for Monday afternoon. There will be a threat for an isolated thunderstorm or downpour just because of how humid it's going to be. It's not going to take much to trigger a downpour or thunderstorm. And the humidity does stick with us for the next several days, well into next week. Feeling very tropical-like out there. Now, we do have daily chances for thunderstorms, but it's going to be isolated in nature for Monday and Tuesday, but we're expecting more widespread coverage potentially in thunderstorms for later next week. We got a small cut advisory for the Atlantic coastline tomorrow on the marine forecast, something to keep in mind if you're on out of the roadways. 75 to 84 for tonight. We'll go with 91 to 96 for tomorrow, and then we're expecting a little bit of a cool down going into next week. But don't go away. We'll be right back after the break with DSI. Oh, Brandon, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Eric. Stick around. A wild week in NBA free agency. The Sixers, one of the most active teams. Can they compete with Boston? That and more next on Delmarva Sports Insider.
I'm Abby Mace from Salisbury Softball, and you're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.